Hello there, welcome to his garage again, next to the scooter, and I've just taken out the brake pads. Extremely thin. There's just about no material left to wear off. I mean, you can, what is it, half a millimeter maybe. I was mainly just cleaning up the disc as such, and then I noted that the pads were almost not visible, extremely thin. Well, I just took a 8mm socket on that lower pin, unscrew it, and took this one from the other side and punched out that little pin that holds these. Let me think now. They're sitting like that. Are they? They're sitting like that. So you can take them out, but one can almost see here there's corrosion marks on the pad, which means that the pistons, there are 3 pistons here, that they are also most likely corroded. So I will have to take just about everything apart and clean everything and see if those pistons still can be used, or if I have to do some more severe repair to this caliper or not. But let's see. I will get onto it. It's not that difficult, you know. It's those 2 screws and that one for the hose, and then you have it in your hand. Pushing the calipers pistons in isn't just all that straightforward. If the bike has been used outdoor, sort of, then no, but especially if it's been running around in a bit of salt or maybe a lot of rain. Yeah, it's a scooter, not meant to be very expensive. So on a car, these pistons would have had dust covers that make it quite easy to push the pistons back in when you put in a thicker pad. But yeah, cheap design and cheap materials. So when I now have started to clean the pistons, I see there's a little bit of corrosion, and and I'm doing this cleaning with brake oil or brake fluid. I think that's the best, because there might be a little bit of oil that kind of sticks to the piston as I push it in, and I don't want anything else in there to mix with the brake fluid. So cleaning with brake fluid and brushing and poking with something that doesn't scratch these, and eventually I hope I will get everything clean and can push these pistons back in. Now the center one, as you can imagine, is the left hand brake lever, and the one to the left and the right are for the right hand brake lever. And that's the way that the CBS works, the Honda's combined brake system. So you get some force on the front wheel and some force on the rear wheel when you pull the when you use the left hand lever, and then as you use the right hand one, you get twice the force, but only to the front wheel. All right, some cleaning to do. So the pistons are as clean as they can be. I will push and open here because I don't want the container up at the handlebar to flood. You see, there we go. Oops. And pushing, let's see. Yep, goes in nicely. Then while this is open, I have to push the bottom one. The one in the middle has its own bleeding nipple or screw or whatever you call it. Oops, you see, they're the same. One pushed out the other. Close that one and move the hose to the other nipple. There we go. Open. And push. Easy, only one piston. Close. All right. Okay. Pistons are in. Time to wipe all the excess oil or fluid away. Now the bracket that holds the caliper isn't all that pretty, so I've started to take away the paint and I'm putting on a little bit of acid so that the corrosion will, so that the corrosion will disappear as much as it can. Doing this a couple of times, then it's really clean, ready to be repainted. So then it's time to get this bracket in place. The caliper slides. Let me see here. It slides over it like, let's see, like but I have to do it at the same time. That won't work. Like that. And then there are small rubber or dust covers. Yeah, rubber dust covers there. I have to poke them in place. There we go. So far so good. Then it's time to try to get the brake pads in position. Let me see here. One must be a bit careful, of course, not to get any oil on the pad surface, nor the disc, of course. Which way? Let me see. There. And then the other one. Okay, and then there's this little pin that should go in here. One unwinds it or unscrews it first, and then you have to, you see there's a little lock ring or whatever, so you have to punch a bit like this to get it out. Now getting it in, there's some spring load on the pads. Whoops. There we go. I will tighten it up as it comes in position. Okay. Let's see if I retracted the pistons enough for getting this in position. Okay, we can take the top screw first. Yeah, as you can see, there's been thread lock on the screws, so I take an extra drop when I put the screw in. There we go. And this little thing. Is it this one? Yeah, but what is it? 8. Oh, that was 12, by the way. Good. We have this one also. I don't think I should tighten that small M6 screw with such a big wrench. With everything tightened, I just jacked up the front wheel a bit, and then just, let's see, that was one lever, here's the right one, Yeah, so the wheel spins, it drags a little bit, but it spins freely and the brake works good. The shape of the pads were a bit odd. There were some funny edges on it, so I think one will have to ride it a bit and get things to seat in the proper way. Okay, that wasn't all that difficult, right? A bit of work, of course, and since I spent some time on respraying that holder, it also took a bit longer, but yeah, it's not that complicated, but one has to be a bit careful, of course, not getting any grease or oil on the disc or the pad surfaces. And I mean, it's a brake, so it must work and it mustn't come loose, and so one has to be a bit careful. But the wheel spins reasonably well, and let's see how the bike will run now with this. I hope it will run well. And well, that's all for today. Take care. Bye bye. More will come.